Hi crafters, it's Karen, and I have a scrapbook process layout to share. This time I'm working with the Maggie Holmes Bloom collection that I picked up from Hobby Lobby recently, and I'm scrapbooking this really sweet picture of my sister and my mother. This picture's probably, I don't know, 15, about 15 years old. But it's such a pretty picture of the two of them. So I don't have any of the embellishments that belong to this collection. I just have the 12x12 paper stack and the 6x6 paper stack. However, I do have a lot of die cuts. I have a lot of dies that I could create my own embellishments, my own ephemera, if you will. And I also took a sheet of the cut-aparts from the 12x12 paper pad, and I'm using those as embellishments. Cutting them apart and using them as embellishments. So I'm starting out matting my photo, and I wanted to bring in some pretty picked colors. The photo brings out a lot of that pretty green from the grass there and a lot of black. My mother's shorts are black and my sister's top is black. So that's the color that I'm probably going to highlight most, is the black. And I'm also going to tie in a little bit of green into this matting of my photos. So I like the way that torn bottom looks. I think it adds a lot of interest. And I'm just going to, mat my photo with different prints from the collection. Here, this is where I bring in some of this green, and it's a perfect match to the grass in the photo. And I'm just making it a tight mat. I don't want to overwhelm the layout with green, of course. And I was trying to decide whether I wanted this to be more of a formal type layout, because it very well could be with the black elements and the way that the photo is. It's a posed photo, or if I wanted it to be kind of a casual layout. So I went with casual. I'm using this die. See those circles there? That's a die that I had picked up. It's a Spellbinders die, and I got it at Hobby Lobby a little while ago. And I love the way this looks. So I cut out several of them a while ago, and I just keep them in my stash for when I need them. So I'm going to use this white one. Like I said, I don't have the ephemera or any embellishments to go with this collection, but I do have my dies and the cut apart sheet. So that's how I'm going to embellish my page. Here I'm going over my page with some matte gel medium, because I thought I was going to bring in some watercolors into my paper. I'm going to be using modeling paste, and as it turns out, I never did bring in any watercolor. I liked the layout the way it was. It didn't need me to bring in any more color. But I do use some colored modeling paste from Art C. And the stencil there is a Tim Holtz stencil. And I'm using this black modeling paste, and this is so beautiful to work with. It's so nice and smooth and creamy. I've had it for quite a while, and it hasn't dried up at all, so that's a plus. And see how nice it goes on. So I'm using this stencil, and as you can see, it kind of looks like paint splatters or whatever. And I love that look, and I wanted that to be, the background, just in that linear line behind the photo, not all over the 12x12 page, just, down the center of the page. So this is how I'm bringing out the black in the photo. And it dries really quick, the Artsy modeling paste, which is a big plus as well. And I'm using this fun foam behind my photo. to rather than dimensional tape, and it works out real well. And I was going to have that, see that white circle there, I was going to have it on top of the photo, but I decided to put it behind instead. Now that yellow doily was in my stash, that half a piece, and I keep wanting to use it because if you could see my mother's name tag there that she's wearing, it matches that doily, and I thought it would be a good way to bring out that color. And you don't see it in the video, but in the photos at the end you will see that I did tuck the doily in the photo mat. Now this is a pack of gold foil and gold glitter frames and butterflies and other die cuts that I picked up at Michael's a little while back, and they're very handy, and as you can see I'm using them as a design element in my layers there. They just work real well. And this is a little like lace flower that I cut off of a trim that I have, and it's been laying in my little bowl here on my desk, so I thought I would use it just to bring in a little bit of softness, and I tucked it behind the photo. I thought it worked real well there. And here I'm cutting out the butterfly from the one of the cut apart cards from the collection, and I'm going to end up putting it right there on the frame where it is there, but I'm going to wait to the end to adhere it. And I was debating whether to add any more, tuck any more words into the layout, like this word says together. If I had or thought to cut an ampersand, I probably would have done that, but I didn't think of it at the time. So this is another cut apart piece, and it just has those really sweet pink flowers on it, and it works real well. My mother's shirt is more of a peachy, more of a melon color, but still it works real well. And that background sheet does have some pink in it, a very slight pink, and it works well with her shirt. And this is that little fawn that you see in this paper collection. It's so sweet, and I decided to fussy cut him out and put him on the opposite side of the butterfly, and he just works out real well. I love that he's that green gingham, really cute, and he works well with the grass background color. So this is where I got my title. That cut apart piece says Happy Souls Shine, and I thought that suited the photo real well because this is such a good picture of my mother and my sister, and they both look so happy. So that's, I'm going to take the easy way out and use that for my title. and I'm going to tuck that in there. This layout came together quite fast. I mean, maybe half an hour, maybe 40 minutes, and I was done, and that's including the drying time for the modeling paste and such. So it just, I knew pretty much what I wanted to do and what I wanted to work with, and it just came together, and I love the way it did come out. So I am adhering the butterfly there and trying to find a good spot for my little fawn. He's so cute, and I decided to put him right there on near the title. So I'm thinking I might use these little pieces and cut out a banner and maybe put it up in the top right hand part of my layout, but I don't do that right away. I think about it for a little bit. But so I cut them out, and I'm using the black soot distress ink to distress a lot of my pieces. So I'm just going to set that aside till I'm ready to make my decision. Now these are some of those small glass beads that they had at Michael's, and I'm using matte gel medium. And then I realized I had these like different types of sequins and glitter, like that large chunky glitter. It's from Michaels. It's from Recollections. And the pieces that I'm using are these iridescent open hearts. They are really cute, and they're more of an orange in color, but they work well with the color of my mother's shirt. So I'm putting some of that matte gel medium across my page there, and then I'm just sprinkling some of these hearts in. And if you look at the pictures at the end, it just looks really sweet. I'm also going to use some of these peachy glass beads, and they have a bit of a sparkle to them as well, and I just felt like it added a really sweet touch to my layout, like a little I don't know, feminine element, I guess. So I love using the matte gel medium because it doesn't shimmer or shine or anything. You can't see it, so it just looks like those beads are just and the sequins are just hanging on to my paper on their own. It's very, very cool. Now I went over my background paper with the matte gel medium, so it works well with my what do you call them, my Faber-Castell Pitt pens, like to add shadows and such. But when I did add the black shadowing, I realized no, that's not gonna, it's gonna add a darkness to my layout that I really don't want. So I made that black mark, and now I need to figure out how to hide that black mark. So I'm trying different things. In the end, I'm using my paint pen to cover it up, and that works pretty well. But then I'm going to take out my Martha Stewart butterfly punch, and I'm going to just punch out a couple of butterflies, which end up looking really cute because of the butterfly on the other side of the photo. So I thought that worked well. So I'm thinking about whether I need to add some more gold touch or another banner in the top right hand side. I'm adding some of my Recollections gold shimmer spray for that added gold touch. And then now I'm going to adhere those little banner pieces that I had prepared earlier in the top right. And I'm going to grab that's a Teresa Collins stapler that I'm using there. And the staples that come from it are normal, regular size. So that pretty much completes the layout. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'm sure I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye now.